Hello, Tech Pros, episode 189.
Welcome to the podcast where I chat with professionals who are getting the job done using technology 7 days a week. Each week, we start with Motivation Monday. Tuesday is about productivity, Wednesday, leadership, Thursday, technology, Friday, people and communication, Saturday, entrepreneurship, and Sunday, being unplugged. All right, let's get started.
Hello, Tech Pros. This is Chad Bostic, and I'm excited to be here and completely chilled out on the Sunday, being unplugged. This is day 7 of our 7-day course, the Career Hyperdrive Course, the course that's going to allow you to break out of your busted, floating in space, dead rocket ship, and you're going to make that jump to hyperspace. You're going to make that jump to light speed, and you are going to fix that hyperdrive and go to warp speed, dude. This is what it's all about. It's about 7 days of content that we've shared here on this story, shared here on this podcast. 7 full days of lessons, really, really hard life lessons, career lessons that I've learned over 20 years of me working in software development, working in IT leadership, working in a lot of different types of companies, from small startups to Fortune 100 and everything in between. And 20 years of lessons learned. Dude, I don't want you to go through the same 20-year plan in order to finally learn the lessons that I've learned. I want you to learn that in 7 days. So we've covered throughout the 6 days. Let me tell you what we've covered in case you've missed it. We've covered how to get excited about your career again without necessarily looking for a new job, right? Get past that meh stage and get really excited about your career again. We also talked about how to 5x your output without 5xing your hustle. So that productivity doesn't mean necessarily that you have to work tons and tons of overtime and kill yourself in order to get the productivity, get the output that you want to see. On Wednesday, we talked about how you can be a leader, specifically how you can influence your colleagues into action and get them to do really awesome, amazing things without you having to move into the management track, without you having to be the manager or have that boss title. You don't have to do that to be a great leader, and leaders get things done. They get things done through themselves by being proactive, and they also get things done throughout the rest of the organization, throughout the rest of the team, and they don't necessarily have to have that management title in order to do that. Next, on Thursday, we talked about how to choose the right technology for every situation without breaking the budget, and that really came down to having the right process in place, having the right process to choose the right technology. And if you don't have the right process in place, a lot of times you're wasting your time, you're wasting your money, and you're experimenting and investing and building things that aren't really going to make a difference, aren't really going to make a huge impact to the organization, because you're just spinning your wheels working on the wrong thing. So you got to have that right process in place. On Friday, one of my favorite episodes is how to break into the elite inner circles at work without looking like a complete dirtbag. I thought many times over the course of my career that if I spoke up, if I tried to put myself out there, I would just look like a dirtbag. And a lot of that came down to my social anxiety that I struggled with throughout my career, throughout my life, but also came down to just not knowing how to develop relationships at work and how to break into those elite inner circles. So we talked about that on Friday. Yesterday, we had an amazing discovery talking about how to start an innovation revolution at work without getting fired. Now, you don't want to have a Jerry Maguire moment where you're basically getting fired or basically quitting the company because you had some major thing that you blew out there and CC'd everybody in the company, and all of a sudden it's like, oops, that was maybe not the right choice to do. But you can challenge the status quo. You can get some amazing innovation things to happen at your work. And you have to follow this kind of 5-step, 6-step process in order to do that. So we talked all about that yesterday. Today, it's been such a crazy week. It's been such an effective, amazing week. If you followed along with all of the content, if you followed along with all of the homework, by going to hellotechpros.com/career and get access to all of the content and all of the homework. Follow that steps and start applying each of those things in your career. You're going to see it take off. Like, it's not going to be quick. I'm not saying that it's going to be like overnight. You do this and 1 week later, you're going to get a promotion and your boss is going to give you a $50,000 bonus. I mean, if it happens, let me know. I would love to have that testimonial. I'm not promising that, but what I will say is it will start to launch your career back off again, where you're making a lot of progress now, and you're getting known as a getter-doner. You're getting known as a person who is actionable and who has an impact and who makes results and get things done and leads other people in order to create the same impact and create more results in their careers as well. And so when you do this, great things are going to happen in your career, and I'm so excited to hear what's going on. Now, I've also got a dirty little secret, that I want to share with you about what's been going on in my life as these episodes are being published. All 7 of these episodes, as they're being published, I'll tell you what, I'm going to say that for later. So stick around to the end and I'll tell you about that, as well as, you know what, I've got an awesome announcement about another course. So if you've enjoyed this course about launching your career, I've got another course that's coming up. So my second signature series week, my next Shark Week that I'm going to have, it's actually going to launch in just a couple of weeks. So I'm going to announce that at the end of this episode as well. So stick around for my dirty little secret. Stick around for the announcement of the next course that will be coming up. But first of all, dude, just take a breath and congratulate yourself on all the hard work you've been putting into this point. It's been a lot of work. If you followed along with the task, I mean, first of all, just keeping up with your day job is a lot of work. Sometimes we don't give ourselves enough credit for all of the hours we put into the job, for all of the commute that we put into getting there, for all of the crazy people we have to put up with. Sometimes amazing people, sometimes crazy people, sometimes they're the same person wrapped up together. But we have to deal with all these crazy bosses and crazy people and crazy projects and just all this stuff at work. And the grind is real. The struggle is real. But you've done it. You've made it through another week, and that's awesome. You should celebrate that fact. So please, have a drink, have a nice dinner, spend some time either out at the pool or in the mountains or in a zen safe spot, wherever your happy spot is. But spend some time relaxing and just really reward yourself for all the hard work that you've put in. Today's episode is really about how to avoid that burnout on the job without ending up at another plateau, without killing your career and ending up at another point in your life. One more example where you're like, okay, now I got to the next level. I got my promotion, or I got that bonus, or I finished that project. Now I'm wasted. I'm just completely out of it. I spent so much energy getting to this point that I am just done. Like, I'm tapped out. Boom, boom. 3 taps and I'm out. I'm done. I don't want to see that in you. And you don't want to see that in yourself. You want to continue to strive to improve. Now, regardless of what your goals are, regardless of what your aspirations are, you can continually make improvements, and you don't have to feel like once you've made it to level X that the journey stops there. Even if you say, you know what, I have reached the pinnacle in my company. I don't want to make another vertical leap into maybe a management position, or I don't want to get to that executive level, because I really, really am enjoying this position that I'm at right here in my life, this position I have in my company. And I'm not looking for any growth in my career. I'm going to challenge you on that statement. If you say that you don't want any growth in your career right now, I'm going to call BS on that, sir and madam. I don't believe you, because I believe that you want more money. I believe that you want more respect. I believe that you want more freedom. I believe that you want more decisions on how things are run. And I also believe that you don't have to make another vertical leap up the career ladder in order to get those things. That you can improve your career and build upon your career without necessarily moving up or moving sideways or moving out of the organization. I think you can totally, absolutely enhance your career, make more money, more perks, get more respect, get more value, have a bigger impact to whatever degree that you want to by following these steps. So don't feel like you're done, even if you're happy. Don't feel like that you're done and that you shouldn't be, like you should just kind of milk it for all it's worth. I mean, that's one possibility, but I think there's more out there that you can achieve. And then, you know what? When people are begging you and begging you and begging you to move into management because you're just so awesome and you're so amazing, at that point, you can name your price. You can say, hey, this is what I want. This is what I want to stay at this organization. This is what I want my career to look like. This is how many hours a week I want to work. This is how many vacation days I want to take. This is which technology stacks that I want to work on. Here are the types of conferences and where in the world do I want to go to get continual education. I believe that you can get to this point in your career where you are naming your price and you are naming the conditions for how the company is going to serve you. And you can do that by continually improving your career. It doesn't necessarily mean that you have to look for a promotion. It means that you're improving your career. You're making the jump to light speed and continually making a bigger and bigger impact on the organization, and that you acknowledge it and the company acknowledges it as well. But along the way, what I don't want you to do is just get burned out. I don't want you to feel like that it's constantly 24-hour hustle. Like you have to be turned on. When I say turned on, I mean like the motor's running, the motivation like constantly spinning at 1,000 miles per hour. You're constantly trying to be productive. You need time away from everything in order to recharge your batteries. We all have this internal battery inside of us that needs to be recharged every now and then. And some of us have a bigger tank than others, right? Some of us have a AAA and some of us have a D size battery. Some of us have, a little bit of energy very frequently. Others have a lot of energy, but when it gets out, then we're like tapped out and done for a long time. So only you know your internal batteries and what you need to recharge. But just, first of all, just be aware of that. Be aware that you need to recharge and that you have to. Because if you don't, if you consistently run at like a less than 50% optimal level, if you're constantly like dragging yourself down to your, okay, I'm out of my battery and now I'm running on reserves, now I'm running on the critical emergency power, now I'm completely dead, it will take so much more time and effort and energy to get back up to that level that you're going to find yourself getting burned out. You're going to find yourself in a career plateau again. We don't want that to happen. So take some time. I have struggled with this so many times. Guys, I can't tell you how many times I have done really well in my career and I've made a lot of progress. But along the way, I burned myself out because I worked so hard and I had this anxiety so much that I had to prove myself, that I was constantly having to prove myself. And that, by golly, if I took a vacation, guys, I literally thought this. If I take a vacation, like things will shut down around here. Like the company's going to fall apart if I take a week off. Like every day that I come in here, there's some like major fire. There's a major problem that's going on. And if I'm not here to put them out, like these people are screwed. Like they're totally, completely screwed. I have to be here. Let me not take anything away from myself. Let me not take away anything from you. But let me just impress upon you that there's a great chance, and I mean 99.9 with a lot of nines past that chance, that everything's going to be completely fine. that other people in the organization will step up and put out those fires. Or that, you know what, if things happen while you're gone, that it'll still be there when you get back. And so you need to pace yourself. And that means not just taking vacations, but just going home at night, going home in the afternoon, right? Taking some time for you. I've seen so many people who stayed at the office until the boss left. Why? Why did you stay until 8, 9 o'clock at night just because the boss was in her office and had the lights on and was sitting there typing or sitting there working on something? What were you afraid of? Were you afraid that she was going to see you walk out at 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock at night when she was still there and think, oh my gosh, what a slacker. If I'm still here, these people got to be here too. And I'm not saying that I've seen one or two people. I've seen dozens of people. I've seen entire departments of people. Everybody's hanging around until the boss leaves. And it's like, oh, whew. Okay, the boss is gone. Now we can start wrapping up. Now we can start talking. Now we can start chatting. Now we can start being unplugged and start to unwind now that the boss is gone. If that's the company that you work for, if you really feel like they're going to dock you for leaving at 8 o'clock at night after you've been there for 11 hours or 10 hours or whatever for a long time, if you feel like your company's docking you because you've only put in 60 hours and not 80, is that really the environment that you want to work in? Like, dude, it's your lifestyle to pick whatever you want. Like, whatever life you want to lead, that's awesome. So if that boss is there till 9 o'clock at night because he loves it and he's all about it, and, you know, I'll use the term workaholic. If you're a workaholic and you're just all about it, fine, cool. Just completely ignore everything that I'm saying. Just turn this off and walk away, go do something else. But if you're not, if you live for something else, then do that something else. So what I decided, what I struggled with and what I decided is my life, my work-life balance was completely out of balance in several times over the course of my career. And I struggled with anxiety, so I struggled with not letting people down. Like, I was very, very afraid and embarrassed to let people down or to be thought of as like not a hard worker or not willing to give it my all. And even though I saw other people leaving or other people sitting around joking at lunchtime or whatever, I felt, for whatever reason, I felt that I would be judged harshly and get a reprimand or just have somebody, gosh, just kind of furl their eyebrows and look at me sternly, you know, if I took some time off or if I asked for a vacation or if I, you know, just went home at 5 o'clock. I didn't want that. I avoided that. And I was extremely loyal to a fault. Loyalty to the business, loyalty to the company, loyalty to your other colleagues at the work is amazing. But you can be loyal to a fault, which I was many, many times over the course of many different companies that I worked for. And worst of all of these things stemmed from the fact that I believe that my career was basically defined by my title instead of by my aspirations. So I want to challenge you right now. If you think that your career, like what your potential is, where you can get to, is based off of what your current title is, I think that's completely wrong. For example, let's say that you are let's just say that you're a software engineer, right? So I come from software. So you're a junior software engineer at a small company, and that company is not it's not a Google, it's not an Apple, it's not a technology company. It's just a small, let's say, insurance company, a local insurance company, and you want to be like a VP of product in a major technology company. You want to be the VP of product at Google or at Amazon or at Apple or anything else. Some whatever company it is that you respect and admire. You want to be a CTO or a VP there. Just because you're a junior developer at some mom and pop shop, right, some local thing, does not mean that your career is based off of where you are now. Your career is based off of your aspirations and your natural talent and your work ethic and your hustle and all of these people skill stuff that we've been talking about throughout these episodes. It's not based off your title. If your title is if you work in the QA department, but you want to move into engineering, or you want to move into project management, or you want to move into a management field, like a director position or something like that, you absolutely can. You're not limited. Your career is not limited based off of what title that you have. That's just the job that you're currently assigned. That's just, you've got some experience there, right? But that's not who you are. You are not defined by the title that you have. You have a lot of goals, and you have a lot of aspirations, and you have a lot of skills that you can bring to many different companies in many different industries and do a lot of different jobs. You just maybe not have as much experience. So take it back to when you're a college kid, right? When you're a college kid and you got your first job, did your first job actually, did it match one for one on all of the lessons that you learn in college, right? Did everything that you learn in college apply directly to the job that you did? There's probably a few people saying, yeah, they did. But there's probably a lot more, I would say over 50%. It's like, yeah, no. Like literally all the stuff that I learned in school, I don't use that. Okay, so it's the same thing. Whatever you're doing right now in the job that you have, in the job title that you have, some of it will apply to your new stuff and some of it won't. So don't feel like you are stuck in this track, like whatever track that HR puts out in front of you and says you're going to go from intern to junior engineer to associate engineer to senior engineer to, right, that whatever that thing is. And when you get to the top, then you're like, okay, well then what? Now what? You're not stuck in that position. You're not stuck on that ladder. You're not stuck in that track. You are more than just that track. You have a lot of attributes that can be applied to many different areas. And so take some time today, take some time throughout this Sunday Unplugged, whether you're listening to this on Sunday or whether it's Tuesday or whatever it is, take some time to really think about you. What drives you? What inspires you? What are you passionate about? What is it that you want to get? Now, like I said before about like career-minded workaholic people, that's fantastic. If you are that person, that's awesome. But if you're not, then what is the thing that really drives you? What is the thing that really inspires you outside of work? What are you really passionate about outside of work? And are you allowing your career to take over your life? Or are you using your career to enhance your life? I hope it's the latter. I hope whatever life stuff, whether it's your kids, whether it's your hobbies, whether it's even some of the technology stuff that you love working with, because I love working with it too, I hope your career enhances those things in your personal life and it doesn't take over your personal life. That's what I hope for you. And I want to let you know that it's possible, that you can build a career that's consistently, like every year, every couple of years, man, it's getting bigger and better. And it's doing amazing things that allows you to have more freedom, more flexibility, more money, more options to do the things that you care about doing. So that's what I want for you. You have to take some time off to reflect on this. And to me, that's the biggest benefit of these Sunday Unplugs. That's the biggest benefit of, when you go home at the end of the night, or when you get up in the morning and you're having your cup of coffee and you're kind of getting into your day, whatever time it is for you to unplug, the times that you take vacations or holidays off of work and you take time away from work, that's the best thing that you can do for yourself, is really reflect on what are the most important things in my life? What are the things that I care about? What are my goals and aspirations? What do I want out of life? I only get one shot at it. And at the end of my life, when I'm on my deathbed, and I'm looking back over the years and years and years that I've put into my career, to my family, to my health, to everything else, what regrets are you going to have? I can guarantee you that you will not be looking back saying, man, I wish I would have spent more hours in the office. I wish that I would have spent more time working on somebody else's business, right? I wish I would have spent more time going to work. No, you're going to say, I wish I would have I don't know what you're going to wish for. But many, many people say, I wish I would have developed better relationships. I wish I would have been more adventurous. I wish I would have traveled more. I wish I would have done all these things that I wanted to do, but I felt stuck at work. You're not stuck at work. You have the option to go do whatever you want to do. And I truly believe that you can do both. You can travel and you can have your health and you can have time off and you can build a family and you can have your hobbies and you can do all the things that you want to do and have an amazing career that's developing and growing too. You have to find that balance. I know so many people that are like, oh, I want to get to the CEO position. That means that I have to put in 120 hours because, the CEO of Yahoo said that that's what you have to do. Well, that might have worked for her. Great. But there are other ways to go about it. You don't have to kill every other piece of your life in order to have that success. You can do both at the same time. So let's get to the secret. All right, because I know this is why you're waiting. You might have fast forwarded through some of that diatribe to get to the secret. The secret is all week, this week, while you have been listening to these episodes, while these episodes have been publishing on iTunes and on my website and on Stitcher Radio and Google and all the other places, Monday, the Monday episode came out about motivation, right? Tuesday, productivity, how to increase your output, all these kind of things. Let me tell you what was going on in my life. Not at the time of this recording. It's a little different, but at the time of publication. At the time of publication, as these episodes were being published, I was actually on a cruise. So I have not been here. While you're working, I'm not. I'm playing. I have been completely unplugged for the last week, and it has been amazing. So let me tell you a little bit about what I've been doing. On Monday, I boarded our ship, and I spent a lot of time exploring the vessel, and I spent a lot of time taking pictures because I love taking like amateur photography stuff, and I love just trying to find all the little places on board the boat that I could enjoy time with my family, and I could also get away from everybody, get away from my family and get away from all the other people on the boat and just have some me time, like listening to my podcast, listening to my books on Audible, reading some books, or just watching the waves and watching the other people mill around and just having me time. That's pretty much what I did on Monday. On Tuesday, I spent a lot of time riding the flow rider. So in the back of the boat, there's this flow rider thing that's basically a wave that you just get on and ride, and you kind of have these stand-up little mini surfboard things, and you can either do the lay down on your chest and like boogie board style, or you can get up and ride on it like a surfboard. And so I had so much fun, like wiping out over and over on that. It was absolutely amazing. So that was on Tuesday when we were talking about productivity. On Wednesday, when we were talking about leadership this week, I was parasailing in the Bahamas. Sucks to be me. But that was fun. On Thursday, I swam with dolphins. On Friday, I hung out by the pool and played Dominion, which is a card game. I played that with my wife and some new friends that we've made on board the boat. I had just a great time just hanging out, just playing my board games, playing my card games, and just sitting out by the pool in the sun. On Saturday, Yesterday, I did a whole lot of napping and really just didn't do much of anything. And today I'm heading home. Now, this is all happening while these episodes are being published. So, depending on when you're listening to this, if you're listening to this sometime far in the future, not when these episodes are published, that's what I did back then and what I love to do for fun when I'm being unplugged. So that was a little dirty little secret this week. Every day of the week while these episodes were being published, I was on a cruise ship having fun, being unplugged all week long. And I can do that because of this life that I've built for myself this year. In 2016, I took my first step and got really brave to take my step out into launching my own business. So I launched Hello Tech Pros LLC with the Hello Tech Pros podcast and all the other stuff that's going on. And I decided that this series, the Career Hyperdrive course, did so well that I wanted to follow up with a second course. So in the second course, in just a couple of weeks, it's going to be 2 weeks from now. The next course is going to be starting your first business. So I've learned a lot of lessons, both in the last 10 years where I didn't start a business, but I tried over and over and over and over. many ideas. I've told you guys about my my domain name buying habit, right? Where I've had hundreds of domains over the years that I've never done anything with. I've told you about my notebook in Evernote called Idea Junkie, where I have literally hundreds of different ideas that I've written down that I've never worked on, or that I've worked on a lot and never actually published and never actually done anything with. And so these are all like failures, a lot of miniature failures and a lot of just what ifs that never came to fruition until I got to Hello Tech Pros. And so I learned a lot of lessons over those years and now launching this. And so I'm building a free course to help you in these areas. The free Starting Your First Business course. If you want to sign up, if I've already sold you on the idea, if you love the course, the career building course, then you're going to love the Starting Your First Business course even more. Go to hellotechpros.com/start. Start, as in start your first business. So hellotechpros.com/start. Here's what you can expect. It's going to be a 7-day format. It's going to be very, very familiar to you. If you've gone through this 7-day course, the next course, the Start Your Own Business course, is going to be very familiar in format. And what you're going to learn is we're going to talk about how to find your ideal business. So there's so many different ideas. How do you find the one, like the one that you want to marry, the one that you want to work on? And then we're going to talk about how to balance your side hustle, because most of the time when most people start their business, they still have their career, right? You still have your day job, and then you start your business on the side. So how to balance the two. Next, we'll talk about when to bring on help, how to expand your business by bringing more people on, and what that process is like. Next, the technology stacks that you probably aren't thinking of. So when I say, hey, you're going to start your own business, ready, set, go, what technology are you going to need? You're probably thinking of tech stack that has what? What are you thinking of? Well, that's probably not it. There's probably another one that I'm thinking of now that you may not be. The next topic that we're going to be talking about is how to find your very first customers. So how to find the first people that are going to open up their wallets, pull out their credit card, pull out their PayPal account, pull out their whatever, and say, "Take my money. Shut up and take my money." Those people are out there, and you can absolutely find them. And there's some tricks to doing that. Next, we'll talk about some awesome free marketing channels. So once you get your business established, once you get it out there, you want to spread the word. Unfortunately, when you open your doors and say grand opening, a lot of times the masses don't just start running, right? So if you believe that Kevin Costner movie, "If I build it, they will come," good for you if they do, but they're not. They're not going to come just because you built it. You have to tell them. You have to announce it. You have to get in front of people and convince them to come join your service or your product or your course or your whatever it is that you're selling, your business that you're selling. You have to get in front of people and let them know. And those are marketing channels. There are marketing channels to do it. And I found some awesome free ones to get in front of. And then last of all, the last lesson that we're going to learn is how to ensure that your own business that you start doesn't become just another job. Man, that would suck if you worked so hard to try to get out of this career building thing to start your own business, and then you started your own business, and then a few months later or a couple of years later, you're like, oh my God, this sucks even worse than working for somebody. Like, it's just another job, and I hate it, and I have no motivation anymore to work on it because I'm so burnt out. So we're going to talk all about that in the Starting Your First Business course. I'm so excited to be launching that 2 weeks from now. If you go to hellotechpros.com/start, that's hellotechpros.com/start. And until next time, take care. The show notes page for this episode can be found at hellotechpros.com/189. Do you use Slack for team communication? Join the Hello Tech Pros Slack channel at hellotechpros.com/Slack. This episode of Hello Tech Pros is sponsored by Minio Cloud Storage. Minio is a cloud object storage server for developers and DevOps written in Go. The Go programming language is the emerging language of choice for modern cloud infrastructure projects, and it allows Minio to be highly concurrent and lightweight. Minio is Amazon S3 compatible, built with microstorage architecture in mind, but at its heart, Minio is simple, scalable, and supported by a passionate developer and user community. In episode 89 of Hello Tech Pros, I talked with A.B. Periasamy, one of the founders of Minio, about the importance of community support and recruiting software developers who are as passionate about their product's code as artists are of their art. Check out that episode at hellotechpros.com/89 and check out Minio Cloud Storage at minio.io. That's minio.io.
Are you new to podcasting? Are you looking for a fast, high-quality, yet budget-friendly podcast production team? Let TransSource Media take care of you. With a team of professional audio and video editors, writers, and graphic artists, they can help you build your podcast from planning, post-production, and platform submission. Using only cutting-edge software and studio equipment, they're here to make each and every show sound at its best. To get a free quote, please visit www.transsourcemedia.com or send them an email at marketing@transsourcemedia.com or call them at 209-505-5693. TransSource Media, transforming businesses through the power of multimedia. If you enjoyed this episode, please leave a review, subscribe to this channel, and check back tomorrow. This has been Sunday Being Unplugged, but tomorrow my featured guest and I will get fired up and ready to face the week with Motivation Monday. On Tuesday, we'll be discussing productivity, Wednesday, leadership, Thursday, technology, Friday, people and communication, Saturday, entrepreneurship, and back again on Sunday to get unplugged. And I'll talk to you tomorrow.